Hello everyone, how are you today? In this video we will see how you can select part of ATIS.cloud to then export it or duplicate it. To create a zone that you will be able to export or duplicate, you have two options. The first one is to use the clipping box up there and then use that clipping box to be exported. To use the clipping boxes, you will find an article and a video in the description down below to explain to you exactly how this works. But we're not going to use that technique for now. What we're going to do is go directly to the right to the button export. I'll click on it. And here I'll have two options. The first one, export point cloud, and the second one, export measurements. Now, to export measurements, we've seen that in another video. Once again, link down below in the description to see exactly how this works. For now, we're going to talk about how to export point clouds. Click on it. Here you'll find this window. You can name your export. So in this case, we're going to export this machine right here. So I'll call it main machine. Then we'll use a zone to export. So either you already have a clipping box drop down. In my case, I have one that is the roof clipping, which is not what I need, so I'm not going to select it. But if you already have a clipping box placed where you want your export to be made, you can directly use it. Otherwise, just click on the plus button and it will allow you to drop a box directly. I'm happy with my placing, so now I can decide the mode of export. I have three options. The first one is via the browser, so it will directly use your computer's performances to do the exports, and here you can select either CSV or LAS format. So you can switch between CSV and LAS down there. Here I'll show you the LAS export. So if I just click on this export, you can see the number of points that are currently being exported. So right now, as we speak, I have almost 1 million points that have been exported. I can either wait for all of the points to be ready for export, which means I can just wait and the file will be downloaded once I have every single point, or I can decide to click on finish the level, then export. If I click on this, it will tell me how many points are remaining in that level, and then once I have all of these points, it will export the file. If I don't want to wait for the level to be done, here I have a bit over 1 million points to get still, I can just click on export now and it will export it as it is, just like this. My LAS has been downloaded and I can now use it in any other software, re-import it into ATIS.cloud into another project or whatever you want to be doing with it. The second type is via the server. So here it will be the server that is going to be making the export. The huge difference between these two is that with the browser export, you can decide to stop the export at any time. In the server export, the difference is it will take every single point inside the box, then create a new file in your project's edition page, and that's from that page that you will be able to download the file. And that also means that anyone who has access to that page and anyone who has the permission to download files will be able to do so from that page. We'll export an A57. Now you do have to realize that no matter what type of file you have imported, whether it was an LAS, A57 or recap file, you can export a different type of file. So if you import an LAS, it is totally possible to export an A57. If you import an RCP, it is possible to export an LAS, and so on and so on. In my case, I'll export an A57. So once again, just go here and click export. Here you don't have to do anything once the export has started. You can leave the page and it will work all of that in the background and you will receive an email once that export is done. You will find your exported files into the project's edition page, into files, and if you scroll down all the way to available exported areas, you will find your file. You can go right here on the right to download it, click here and then enter download. You can either copy and paste this or directly type in download and click download. You will then find your file, that A57, in the downloads of your computer directly. For the duplication, which is exactly the same thing as the browser export, except instead of having the file here in the download, it will be duplicated here into the project hierarchy directly.